General MacArthur drops a atomic bomb.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Operation Crimson Glory. This is the start of turn 2 for the communists. Real quick, there were some mistakes made during the Allied turn. During the battle for Myanmar, I said that a fighter hit on a 4. That was incorrect. And after switching it up, the Chinese were able to retreat with an infantry and an artillery back to Yunnan. And then over here, I had forgotten that even if you attack transports with aircraft, defending aircraft can scramble. So instead of fighters attacking the communist transports here and here, I just did a sub attack here. And then the miner that I had put in Japan, I changed and put it into Alaska. Now we'll go over to purchases for the communists. In Europe, the communists have purchased 5 mechanized infantry and 3 mobile artillery. In the Pacific, the Russians built a jet, a transport, and a destroyer, and the Russians saved 3 IPC. China bought 2 mechanized infantry, a mobile artillery, a cruiser, and a transport, and they saved 4 IPC for that turn. Overlooking attacks now, the communists are making a massive attack against the U.S. fleet here in around Japan. In Southeast Asia, the Chinese are moving against East Pakistan. And then over in Europe, the Russians are forcing the Straits of forcing the Dardanelles to try and land in Israel. There will be a special role that'll be made. So when you force the Straits, as always, or as we play it, when you force the Straits, each ship will get rolled against, and on a roll of 1, the ship is destroyed, unless it's a battleship or an aircraft carrier. And submarines can get away with it and go through without issue. And then continuing on, the Russians are going to invade Greece. And then the Russians will go from Austria into northern Italy. And just to show you the amount of forces going into that, this is the Russian attack force going into northern Italy. And this is the NATO defenses that are defending Italy. Just this group right here. So we'll start getting stuff set up. I mean, real quick, before we get the first battle set up, we can at least do this. So China moves in and takes East Pakistan. That's -1 from Sato and 1 for the Chinese. And now we'll move on to the sea battle around Japan. All right, we got the battle for the waters around Japan. We have 4 destroyers, 2 fighters. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jets and a strategic bomber against an aircraft carrier, 3 destroyers, a cruiser, and 3 fighters. So let's start off with the destroyers, rolling 4 for 2. Ooh, that's 2 hits. So the United States, let's see, we'll sacrifice 1, and we'll call that a damage on that. And the 2 fighters. Ooh, that's another 2. Good hits. I guess we'll do that. We'll take the destroyer and finish off the carrier. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7 for 4 less. Ooh, let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now for the defenders, we got 4 for 2. They got 1. And then 1 for 3. Miss. And 3 for 4. And those are all 3 hits. So the communists have lost their surface ships And my 2 aircraft are going to attempt to retreat to Japan. So let's see. Nope. We're safe. And safe. So that is the end of the combat for the waters around Japan. Alright, so now we'll move on to the invasion of Israel. But first we will have to, we're going to have to go through the, rolling against all the ships that went through the Dardanelles Straits. So this is the Soviet task force that went through. Like I said, the 2 subs will go through for free. That leaves 2 destroyers and, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 cruisers that have to get rolled against. Again, on a roll there. And then we also have 4 transports that'll get rolled against as well. So starting off, we'll start with the 2 destroyers. Ooh, 1 destroyer got hit. Sorry. Whoops, sorry. Okay, and now we'll go to the 4 cruisers. They all made it. And now the 4 transports. And 1 transport got hit. And so I will assume, going up here with all these pieces, he'll take 1 transport and lose 1 mechanized infantry regiment with that. So now we go on to the second phase, which is the naval battle. Okay, so for the naval battle, they got 2 submarines, a destroyer, and 4 cruisers. So we'll start with 3 for 2. That's a hit. And then we got 4 for 3. Ooh, they nearly got that one out. And then the Americans will roll 2 for 2. Ooh, double 6s. Bad luck for the Americans on that go around. So the Soviets have won the battle for Sea Zone 95, and now the invasion of Israel can commence. Alright, so now we got the Battle of Israel. We have an infantry and mech, 2 tanks and 2 fighters, and a bomber versus a bomber, 2 infantry and a tank. So we'll start off with the Russians, 2 for 1. Misses. We got 4 for 3. And that's 3 hits. So we'll start 1, 2, 3. And then 1 for 4. Ooh, that was a miss. All right. So NATO will hit back. 1 for 1. Miss. 2 for 2. 2 hits. And then their tank. And that's a hit too. Unfortunately, the Soviets will take Israel. The bomber will attempt to retreat. Probably retreat him to... We'll retreat him to Sudan. So let's see if he makes it. And he makes it. So the bomber successfully retreats to Sudan. Unfortunately, though, the Russians are able to take Israel, which is 2 IPC. And unfortunately, they grabbed that factory, but they won't be able to build on it this turn. So that's minus 2 for NATO, but plus 2 for the Russians. And now we will move on to the battle in Greece. All right, moving on to the Battle of Greece. The Soviets are attacking with 2 mechanized infantry supported by a mobile artillery, along with a fighter and attack. NATO is defending with an infantry and 2 aircraft that were scrambled off the American aircraft carrier here next to Greece. So we got 3 for 2. Ooh, this might be a mistake. Oh, yep. There goes the infantry and a fighter. And then 2 for 3. Yeah, there went all the NATO defenders. So hopefully they can roll something good. So they got 1 for 2. Ooh, they got a hit. And 2 for 4. Oh, wow. Look at that. A wash battle. NATO remains in control of Greece, but probably not for too much longer. So now we'll move on and we'll head for the final battle at northern Italy. And now we wrap up our final battle with the battle in northern Italy. Here are the array of forces. However, before combat starts, NATO has 2 anti-aircraft guns. And in this version, all anti-aircraft guns get to shoot at every aircraft coming into the battle. So we'll go right for it. So first we'll start with that fighter. Still looking for ones. Nope. Now we'll go for the first tactical. Dead. Second tactical. Safe. Then the 3 jet fighters. So here's 1. Got it. 2. Miss. And the 3rd. Miss. So those are the surviving Soviet forces. So now we'll move on. We got 1, 2, whoops. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1. Got 6 for 1. Nope. Nothing. Then we got, we got 3 for 2. That's 2 hits to the NATO forces. Whoops. Let's see. For goodness sakes. Sorry. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 for 3. Now we'll roll them in pairs of 4s. So that's 3 more. None there. And then we got the 3 for 4. Wow, all misses. All right, NATO will fire back. Gotta count up the chips quick. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 for 2. Nothing. Wow. Then we got 3 for 3. That's 1 hit. Boy, the NATO forces are not doing well. And then the fighter for 4. Hit. Okay, well, as NATO, that was not a good battle for us. I am going to attempt to retreat my forces. Let's see here. I'll probably retreat my forces south to southern Italy. So now we'll roll against everything. So the 1 infantry, safe. The 2 artillery. Oh, 1 artillery is gone. The 3 tanks. Oops. The 3 tanks. Safe. And the jet. Safe. So, unfortunately, the Russians do capture northern Italy. Well, actually, before I forget, I'll retake... How do I want to do that? Because I forgot to sacrifice the AA gun. Well, you know what? No, I'll take the AA gun. I'll retreat the AA guns with me. So then I'll roll against these 2 AA guns real quick. And one of them got killed, unfortunately, but at least 1 survived. So that'll be the end of the battle. Unfortunately, that is a heavy loss to NATO. So they lose 4. And the Soviets gain 4. So that was a very brutal attack. And a devastating loss for NATO as far as their forces in Europe go. So we'll soon get the non-combats figured out, and we'll be back with an update later. All right, so going into the non-combats for the communists at the end of turn 2, they've moved their aircraft back to Central Europe and Germany, and are slowly moving to get forces to the Europe front and preparing to send forces down into the Middle East. and deploying most of their forces here in Eastern Europe yet again. Going over to China, the Chinese have moved their forces in to finish off the rest of the Hong Kong defenders and preparing for a massive invasion of Japan that in all likelihood the Americans might, or more than likely probably not going to be able to hold off against, but I mean they'll certainly try for the rolls at that point. At the end of the turn, the Chinese collect 33 IPC, and now because it is the end of turn 2, the radiation effects that were affecting Manchuria are removed, so China regains all 3 IPC for Manchuria. So at the end of next turn, China will at least collect 36 IPC, and Russia ends the turn with 61 IPC. As far as, however, Russia did lose 5 IPC because the C-Zone 5, it's not on the map, but there is a convoy marker there, and the Russians lost 5 IPC for the 3 surrounding territories of Amur, Siberia, and the Soviet Far East. So they only collected 56 at the end of this turn. But so there is a look at the board. And this is it for turn 2 for the communists. And we'll be back soon for turn 2 for the Allies for Operation Crimson Glory. Have a good one, guys.